Well, for me, the transition into high school from primary school was particularly difficult because I didn't have anyone from my primary school come to my high school, so I didn't really know anyone when I first started at the school, so I had to work very hard to make friends and to get into groups in order to feel safer in that environment. It was a scary time, but at the same time it was really exciting. Physically, like, you have to change your routine that you get into in high school when you move from primary school. So the first thing is that rather than having one classroom in which you have all your lessons, you've got your maths, your science, your English, you have to change for every lesson, and you have up to 11 different classes in a whole week, and that's a lot of things to remember because you've got different classes, you've got different teachers, and you've got to be constantly shifting your brain into different mindsets for every class. I loved peer support. I thought it was just so much fun. Other than missing out on a few classes, I really enjoyed coming back to year 7, remembering that when I was in year 7, I was facing the exact same issues that these guys were facing, and using the peer support program, I really felt like I was equipping these year 7s with skills and tools that they could use, not only in the school environment, in a wider environment, in order to make them more happy, safe and comfortable in the school that they were at. I had a particularly quiet group. I was hearing about other groups which were a bit more boisterous, but mine was most certainly not. And so our challenge was to bring these children out of their shell and to make them comfortable in interacting in a group, in an intimate group environment. And a lot of the children had quite a bit of trouble with that. One of the students we had, he only said his name for the first few sessions, would not contribute to any group discussions. He would write down quite minimally when we asked him to do tasks and things like that. So he wasn't necessarily disobedient or disruptive, but he wasn't engaging. So we really had to push ourselves to engage with him on a level that he could appreciate. And about a third of the way through all of our sessions, suddenly he started talking. Suddenly he started conversing with not only with the leaders, but with other students. And that was a clear indication to me and my peer support leaders that he had understood, and that in order to be involved in this group, he needed to come out, and he did. And I think he really enjoyed the sessions that much more because of it. I always thought of myself as a very good leader, especially in a group context, but interacting in the peer support environment, I realized that I have a lot more to learn about myself and my ability to function within a group context. So that was probably the major thing that I learned in the peer support process. But some of the activities that we worked with the year 7s, I found that they were also very applicable to myself. We did some exercises to do with empathy, and I'd never really thought about that. And thinking about other people's feelings, which was a major point in the peer support process, allowed me to realize that that's a feature of myself that I should improve, and that I can take away beyond school and within school to make me a more valuable person to those around me. For any year 10 person who's considering to do peer support, I believe that they should most certainly do it. If they believe they might not want to do it because of a time commitment or whether they can't squeeze it in, part of the peer support program is learning how to balance your studies and your extracurricular. So that is a skill that as a leader you can take away from the peer support process. But more valuable beyond that is in helping people, in interacting in that group environment, in the peer support program, you really develop some very good communication skills which you can take away and use for the rest of your life. I really want to see that when I've left the school, I want to see that and feel that I've made a contribution to the entire environment, whether that means people feel more encouraged to be involved in extracurricular activities, or whether that means people feel more comfortable with being outgoing in the school environment. Regardless of of whether my name is remembered, it would be really nice to see a legacy into the future of things like of being outgoing, of being involved, of being enthusiastic. Those things are really powerful tools